Hello, hello. Welcome to the daily 1 hour political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. I'm known as Autumn around here. My co-host stepped away for a second, the incomparable Boo Boo Zen Kitty. And he's a little positive energy generator around here, which we need since we read on politics, or since I read on politics, and you're here with me. So usually I spend the first 10 or 15 minutes where I get your questions out of the chat. If you're speaking to me, do put everything in all caps. If you type in all caps normally when you're talking to other people, I get a bit confused, I'm afraid. But if it's in all caps, I'll assume it's for me. And if it's not in all caps, I'll assume it isn't. Just makes things a little easier because people here are really friendly and they talk to each other and they're supportive of each other, and thank you so much for that. Thank you. And we have the best moderators anywhere, which is amazing. So you guys, you really are amazing. So 10% of any income that comes into the channel goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. It is built into the business model, such as I have a business model. And I make those donations quarterly. So probably the second week of July, I'll be making the next one, and I'll tell you about it. And then I put all the gory details over in Patreon for anyone who wants to see them. You don't even have to be a patron. They're just there. Let me think, what else? If you are watching the replay of this, you can go down into the description box, or the first comment that's pinned in place will have all the questions we covered today and the timestamp, so you can just click on the number and you can go right to what you're interested in. I just want to make, now that that's done, I just wanted to make two personal notes. One, I absolutely loved Holly's comment I saw when I was setting up, which was, so, which scandal shall we talk about today? It's like, yes, absolutely. That is the world we are living in. The other thing is that I'm getting far too comfortable with you guys. Far too comfortable. I was trying to clean all the papers and piles of papers off my desk and the binders and I have just crazy amounts of paper and stuff. And there are some pages I need to dig out of this binder and pull out, and there was a part of my brain that was like, oh, that's okay, I can just dig these out while, during the live stream. It's like, no, you're not watching a live stream. You are giving a live stream. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to, I can't do the paper. No, you can't do the paperwork here. Go. Put the binder down. Oh, goodness. So let me put that down. And actually, before I get started, I keep forgetting to grab my astrology stuff. There are questions that are in the top comment from yesterday. So just cut and paste any of those that you're still interested in. Just put them in the chat. And also any general knowledge astrology questions. People just trying to learn astrology, or want me to explain how something works, or what have you. So I usually tack on time after I do the tarot readings on Sundays to answer general knowledge astrology. I'm trying to help. All right, hang 1 second. Okay, now listen, let's have fun. Yeah. Yeah, I've been gathered a fair amount of stuff. a fair amount of stuff while I've been going over astrology things with you guys. Oh, goodness. Talk about going through paper. Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember that week. Why you guys are still putting up with me, I don't know. Come to us, Boo Boos and Kitty. We love your energy. Boo Boo. Bailey Boo. Where are you, sweetheart? Come here. Come here. Come here, goofball. Okay. Well. Okie dokie. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'm just trying to... We have covered so much. And the questions and... My gosh, we've been through a lot, haven't we? That's the US. And... Well, there's the blank sheet. There he is. How are you? How are you, precious? All right, well, let's see what goes on there. But I've got a blank sheet all ready for questions. And we have a kitty. We have all the positive energy that comes with the good kitty. Oh, you can see the back of my head. There we go. Okay. You're a very good boy. You're a very good boy. Yes, you are. Alrighty. So, sweetie, let me look for your. Let me scroll back up. Oh, good boy. Good boy. You are precious. You are the precious. Oh, hi, Boo Boo. I love you, says Anne. Oh, good kitty. He's so good. He's so soft. Good morning. Good morning. I'm scrolling back up. I'm looking for anything in all caps. Hello, cutie. Hello, cute one. You're so good. You're so good. You're a little buffer against all these nasty things in the world. You're so good. Okay, uncover the news. Are there Trump deals with dictators and autocrats that his cabinet or public don't know about? When I saw your question because it's right underneath what I posted. I honestly thought you were asking about, are there other people in like the cabinet who have nefarious deals with dictators that we don't know about. And that I got a feeling when I read the question of, it reminded me of Flynn. You know, because, I mean, gosh, during the inauguration, Flynn was on his phone. Oh, Flynn was on his phone and he was trying to do a deal about nuclear reactors or something. I mean, it was just appalling. But I've added that down there. Okay, Anne is asking, will Trump's tweets asking people to identify Black Lives Matter protesters lead tomorrow? Oh my gosh. Yeah, did you guys see that video he tweeted this morning about from I think it's called The Villages in Florida, where two guys were yelling, I want to throw up even saying these words, but they were saying the word white, and then the word power. The only white power is the power of cuteness from the white kitty. That is it. Yes. It's the kitty power. There is much kitty cuteness. There is much power and sweetness in the kitty. That's the only power. Yes, because he's the good boy. Oh, man. Paste. How bad will this latest spike get? I won't get I've tried asking questions like that, Allison, and I don't get a specific answer, I'm afraid. I get bad. I get and then it's like a broken record, and it's just over and over and over and over. stay home, stay home, stay home, stay home, stay home, stay home, stay home. That's all I get. So I'm sorry I won't be able to answer your question. The thing I forgot to mention at the beginning, hello, sweetie, is that if I don't get to your question, it is never anything personal. It really isn't. There's nobody who has like this special, put in this particular grouping of emojis, and I'll know that you're one of the super secret people. No, it's not like that. I have to go by my intuition. So, but I do feel bad. I hope nobody feels slighted. That would upset me. I would hate to think anybody felt slighted by me. I'm not about that life. Okay, Debbie's asking, is Ivanka or Don Jr. going to try to slide their way into the position of their father during the election somehow? What, become president? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Debbie, if you wouldn't mind maybe rephrasing that, so I'm sorry I'm a bit slow today. Okay, Nancy E., how do you see the stock market doing in the next month, please? I don't read on the stock market, I'm afraid. Well, I can get a general sense, but it's more what I would get would be how badly is it being manipulated or something like that. But I don't get, oh, it's going to be up, oh, it's going to be down, oh, it's going to be whatever. I'll see what energy I get, Nancy, but I don't usually get much when I read on that kind of thing. Sorry. Okay, Anne, we love you no matter how many piles of papers are on your desk. Oh, thank you, Anne. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Okay, Sophia, federal judges ordered migrant children released due to the illness by mid-July. Will this be successful? Good question, Sophia. They're all good questions, but let's see. Let us see. Good kitty. Good boo-boo. You are the good boo-boo. Okie dokie. Kay Nelson. Hi, Autumn. Remind them to join the fun and hit like and subscribe. There, you've been reminded. Thank you. No, seriously, liking and subscribing, it really, really does help. Oh, and I already have my first downvote of the day. Every day, guaranteed. Oh, good boy. I've had some more negative comments recently, too, but they were all Trump supporters, so, hey. Okay, let's have fun, says Kay Nelson. I love those pumpkin emojis. You know I'm a sucker for pumpkin emojis and black and orange hearts and kitties in boxes, and those purple hearts are particularly beautiful on YouTube. In the chat on YouTube, they're very, very vibrant. Anyway, we're scrolling. Kisses for the kitty. Yes. Oh, I missed it. Jumped. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Goodness. Trump denies being briefed on the Russian incident. Will he be found to be lying? Well, let's have a look at that. Matter of fact, that might go straight up to the top of the list because it's very important. And treason Trump, and I may just start calling him that. I like how people have taken the word treason and replaced the A and the S as 4 and 5. So, actually, let me do this. Like that. Treason. So, yep. Hello, cuteness. What do you think? right, so that's there. Um, oh, you've been deleted from voting rolls and added to the Republican rolls. Ugh. Is this a Republican trend and a tactic to win the election? Yes. Yes, I don't even have to pick up the cards. Yes, and I have said, I've been saying for weeks, or longer than that, they are going to try everything. They are going to use every dirty trick. They are going to use every excuse, every dirty trick, every every possible thing they could take to court, every possible underhanded scheme they can come up with. They are going to do, they're going to do things you never even would have thought of. They are going to try to cheat like cheating has never been done before. And they feel justified because they feel like their way of life is under attack. Yeah, your racist way of living is under attack. Yes, it is. The thing is, though, there are going to be so many people voting that there are going to it's just going to be just tsunami of people voting, that their dirty tricks are not going to work. But it is going to be upsetting. We are going to be upset at what they do between now and the election. And we just have to just keep an eye on if you are registered to vote. Once a month, go check. Like first of the month is what, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that? It is, come on, work with me, computer. First of the month is Wednesday, July 1st. First of the month, check your voting roll. Matter of fact, I should make a note of that so I'll remind everybody. First of the month, check your voter registration. And we're going to do this in July, August, September, October. Might do it again in the middle of October. But we just have to keep checking it, fixing it. This is not going to be easy. They're going to try to take our votes away, but they're not going to be able to ultimately. Not enough of us. So, yeah, okay. Oregon Jewel. Oh, Oregon Jewel. Yes. Can we expect any 4th of July surprises? Let's see here. Well, other than trees and Trump setting the area around Mount Rushmore on fire by having a massive fireworks display that no other president has had in 10 years or more, because it's too dangerous and will create a massive forest fire. That might be the little surprise. Surprise! There's a massive forest fire. Oof. Anne is asking if you need to read on something nicer, will Swalwell run for president again in the future? I have read on that, and honestly, he was even showing up in videos earlier. I think he is going to be president someday, but it's going to be a while. So I'll add it to the list. But I've been getting that for a long time. I was getting that long before he even thought about running this last time. And then he didn't do as well, and it was like, well, it's not time yet. But President Swalwell, there's just something about it that it sounds real to me. And I don't think I'm the only one saying that. So, okay. Happy Sunday, Autumn and Boo-Boos and Kitty, says Mary. Yes, they're wishing us a good Sunday. They're wishing us a good Sunday. Okay, Maria is saying, blessings to all. Will the public be disgusted by -45? Plotted with Putin to put, okay, basically, will the public be disgusted? Will it affect the vote? Okay, great question, Maria. Let's see here. And I think that's going to be up with this topic. Okay, and I hope everybody had a look at those questions from yesterday, if there are any you're interested in. But I'm starting to run out of places. Oh goodness, I've missed a lot. Treason Trump, yep. Boo boo. Happier reading. Will Hakeem Jeffries and or Eric Swalwell run for president? Okay. Will we get another desperation check? It's been over 10 weeks. I'll read on that. People are, through election day, checking your voter registration, making sure you can vote. Yeah, the desperation, the relief checks. If EU closed borders to Americans, will Trump be excluded from the G7? Will he still try to attend anyway? Okay, I could read on the G7. The G8 would be, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it? It's the G7 and it would be the G8 if Russia was allowed in? Oof. But do let me know. Okay. And yay, says Anne. Thank you. Maybe when his kids grow up. Could be. Okay, there's something about the kitty, and I've missed. Yeah, he said he dropped out because he has 2 babies in diapers. I believe it. Okay, did he know about Harry's mom's asking, did Trump know about the bounties? Okay, that's the first question today. Mississippi's finally changing their state flags. Will other southern states follow? Kicking and screaming. Yeah, basically the modern Confederacy, if you will. They are getting a serious dose of 21st century, which they don't like. There are changes, but it's there are changes, but it's going to, they'll change kicking and screaming. Currently G7. Thank you, Nancy. Yep. Yes, G8 includes Russia, but Trump has already canceled it. Okay. All right, so let me see, because I've got a whole bunch of questions here, and I will assume you guys are not interested in these others. But we'll see. And where was that? All right, so don't need to cover that. All right, good kitty. And then also later, if you have any general astrology questions, we'll get to those. But for now, all right, let me pull out what's calling to me. Huh. Okay. Housewives. Housewives is calling to me. Oh, that reminds me. Excuse me. I have this other deck here. No, I don't. No, I don't have it in here. Got that deck. That's the zombie deck. No, we're not using the zombie deck. It's been retired while we're still dealing with COVID. Okay. All right, just double checking. Housewives. Being drawn to the housewives. Did Boris Johnson know? Okay. Let me look, Holly. Edit. Because I'm assuming he hasn't said anything either. Oh, Boris. Yeah, all I know about Boris at the moment is he's been getting grief about doing push-ups. Just basically taking his suit jacket off and just getting down on the floor and doing push-ups, and some people were saying something like, what, is it going to be shirtless on a horse next, like Putin? But I think he was doing it to try to push fitness or exercise, or I don't know. Dave is saying, is Trump's immune system functional? Considering what he eats, it's kind of a double-edged thing, where it's like, considering what he eats, which is so bad, we know it's functional because he's still alive. But we know that it's under enormous strain because, yeah, for years I've been saying the best way to describe Trump's health, his insides look like the floor of a fast food restaurant. So, they all look sick. Yeah. I remember Linda G. Harry's mom saying, I remember Linda G. saying that something would happen that people all over the world would be talking about. Maybe it's the Russian bounties. I hope so. Kathleen saying, no, he's getting plasma treatments. Could be. Melissa saying, Autumn, your sound is strong today. Good. Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. I've not done anything different, but I'm glad it's working. Sometimes I am at the mercy of the vagaries of YouTube. Okay, where are we? We are starting at 27. All right, so let's just start. Did Boris know about the Russian bounties? All right, Boris. Boris. He's just, it's like I feel like I'm like, when I read on him, I feel like I'm like almost physically up close to, near him. Not against him, thank God. No, but up near him. And he's just sweaty and unkempt and, oh, thank you, Renee. Thank you. Oh, the nails are great too. Thank you. Let's see here. Did you know Boris? Ugh. It's like he doesn't change his clothes often enough, and he's sweaty, and they're pink metallic. Anyway, Boris. Russian bounties, because it wasn't just American forces that the Russian spies, basically intelligence, were paying Taliban locals a bounty for Americans they killed and allies. UK was included in that. So, Boris, did you know and do nothing? Did you know and do something secret? Boris. Stop, Autumn, I can smell him now. I'm sorry, Harry's mom. He's an embarrassment, says Helen. Most of our fellows are well-groomed and fit. I was married to an Englishman for a couple of decades, so yes, I know how great they can be. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, Boris. Boris's clock is ticking. Kathleen saying, I rarely get smells, but I couldn't remember, I can't read that word. Poor Ona, his girlfriend, I'm guessing. All right, Hermit, 10 of Swords, 3 of Wands, Lover's card, 5 of Pentacles. The center of it is a cleanup. Whatever this is, the center of this is very much a cleanup. This is Trump becoming more and more isolated. Boris knows of all the political swords. Let me see if this light will help. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Boris knows about the political swords that are in Trump's back. So, but this is, what I'm getting specifically for him for this is cleanup. What did he clean up? And actually what's going to hurt, that's that Wheel of Fortune, what's actually going to hurt Boris is people falling, the people who voted for him, falling out of love, as it were, but financial problems in the UK. Thank you, Wondering Eyes. It's the huge financial downturn. But on this issue, let me see if I can get any more information, because all I'm getting is just cleanup. What did they clean up? Did they hide it? Did they question it? Did they clean up on Isle Boris? Yeah, maybe it's just my subconscious saying, oh, could he please clean up? That would be nice, thank you. Oh, Ona's a psychic who can smell everything. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, that's a curse. That is a curse. Oh, bless her. Oh gosh, I would hate that. I would hate that. That is the worst. Oh my gosh. I occasionally get smells, but oh my gosh. That poor woman. Oh my gosh. All right, what's going on with this cleanup, or what is this? What did you know about it, Boris? Did you know about this bounty? Didn't take it seriously? I mean, what? Did you know? Cleanup. Bingo. Again. Cleanup. 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 Well, who cleaned up what? Four of Swords, Page of Wands, Knight of Swords. It was in his briefing. Page of Wands is a message. His intelligence people talked to the bigger bad guy. He was in his briefing, right? So, and he's got the knives. And this is not, please understand me, make this very, very clear here. I am not insulting the UK military in any way, shape, or form. They are, excuse the term, badasses. The UK military are absolutely, it would be an honor to have them fighting beside me or anybody I know. They're absolute badasses. Yeah, anyway, he was briefed, so his people did send a message to the bigger military, the bigger, the Americans, the American military that goes around muscling people out of the way and is just a bigger, it's just a bigger thing. But it does not, I'm not saying better, okay? I just want you to know that. He knew, he sent the message, his people, not him, but his people sent the message, if you don't know about this. So he knew, he just said, okay, this is intelligence, and we need to make sure the Americans know about this. Geo Dave, they would be honored to know that, Autumn. Well, I hope so. Okay. All right. So he basically expected. he expected the message to get to America. And then they would either coordinate something or America would just deal with it. Or, let me ask, was Boris just concerned that, well, contact the Americans and let them know, but let's just hope Trump doesn't find out, you know, because he won't do anything. But maybe their military will, maybe their intelligence will, maybe their... It was... He should have spoken out. He should have tackled it on his own. But it feels like he wanted his intelligence services to coordinate. It isn't that he... Oh, Helen is RAF, an RAF vet. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you for your service. It doesn't feel like he was... It isn't like Trump's corruption. This is just, okay, this is important, we need to coordinate. Let me see, anything else here about Boris? Were you afraid about letting Trump know you? What's the Eight of Pentacles? I'm being drawn to how this is bigger than these. So it's like, okay, he saw that this was important and we need to deal with this. Okay, fair enough. There are all kinds of scary I use that word sarcastically. There are all kinds of scary things in the daily briefs and things happening in the world. But this was a big one, and he wanted to deal with it. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Ten of Wands. What I am feeling from this is the U.S. military overall is very strong and organized. That's what I'm getting very clearly. However, where the military bumps up against government, the chaos in government is making their job harder. It's the card of burden is what came up. And it just feels like this is just a maze to try to get through and trying to contacting intelligence in the government and then having it go all the way through, and then the White House is here and Congress is here, and then you've got the Joint Chiefs, and then you've got the military where they overlap, and then yeah, this is fine. This is strong. This is, do not make them mad. They will mess you up. I mean, that's if they are called to do so. They don't enjoy it. They're not horrible people at all. Our military people are but they're trained to mess you up if need be. But this is just a maze. The government side of this is it's awful, and that's the card of burden. So these are knights as they're sending it through the different I've explained before in astrology, and that's why this is coming up as cups and pentacles. Hang on, just a second. This is very simple. I'm not gonna make your brain melt, I promise. I'm just trying to find a blank sheet. Oh, that works. Give. Where was that? Come here. People are waiting. We got stuff to do. Move along. All right. Okay, I wrote it on the bottom of that. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I've got to print stuff out. Oh, here's a blank one. Cool. All right. This is very simple. Very, very simple. I've mentioned before, down here, Cancer, born on the 4th of July, which means the U.S. has their sun down here in Cancer. The UK, the original chart for England was in 1066, and it was on January 1st, which means their sun in the it's grown. There are other charts along the way too, but the base chart is in Capricorn. Okay, Cancer is a water sign. Capricorn is the 3rd earth sign. Okay, got that? Pentacles correspond to earth signs. Cups correspond to water signs. You put water in cups. Pentacles are physical things. Physical, it can be money. Pentacles can also be money, but it's things taking physical form, right? So what these cards said was, started here, went to there, and then, can you see this? Is this clear or not? And then this is burdened. Okay, Pentacles, Knight, taking action. So the UK, having their people who take action, contact the people over here who take action, but where it corresponds with, there's burden and chaos and a maze of energy there. So that was kind of that. So the normal back and forth isn't working between the countries, which is creating problems. Because normally, the U.S. and U.K. are extremely close allies. But Trump isn't allies with anybody, unless they're giving him huge amounts of money. So he's allies with Putin. I hate to say that. That makes me sick to my stomach to say it. But anyway, I hope that wasn't boring for you, but I wanted to explain what that was saying and why I got that. And if you study astrology or you study tarot, I thought you might get something out of that. Okay, so let's get on to trees and Trump. We're at 43 and a bit. I'll just say 44. All right, let me shuffle here and try to get Trump's energy. Trying to read on Trump, and I'm actually just getting some really lovely energy. Not from Trump. not from Trump. And it's just it was all, even though all of the troubles we're dealing with down here, the overarching energy of people is hopeful. There's some positive energy out there. If you just rise slightly above kind of the really hardest stuff we're dealing with right now, just go up a little bit energetically. There was just just layers and layers and layers of positive energy. And guides and angels and the divine and everybody, they're just sending so much positive energy down to us. They see us. They see what we're going through. They see that they can see the energy down here. And Holly's gonna walk her dogs. Be right back. Excellent. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. But I need to go down into the. I need to step down into the sewer, if you'll excuse me, and check on Trees and Trump. So, saying he didn't know. So I'll ask again. 3 cards. Did he know? I'm getting such a clear yes, like big capital yes letters. What language would you? Da. Da. He knew. Oui. Yeah. Oh, Harry's mom asking, did Trump give Putin permission to do? Oh gosh, make my stomach turn. Hang on, I'll come back and get that question in a second. Did he know? Did Trump know that Russia had? Was he briefed? Did he know Russia had put out bounties on American and Allied soldiers and paid out money for the death of U.S. and Allied soldiers? King of Swords. Honestly, what I'm getting from this, first of all, he's overwhelmed by the job. That's no excuse. I'm not giving him an excuse. Trust me on this one. He's overwhelmed by the job. He actually can't take in all the information that he's supposed to as president. It isn't that he doesn't read the Daily Brief. He can't comprehend all of it. He can't hold that much in his head. And I have no idea how this man ever graduated from any college. I have not a clue. There's just, so it's easy for things to fall by the wayside from his consciousness. I am getting that. He's totally unfit for this job. Oh, that's how he got it. Yeah, I guess Daddy's money. Yep, exactly. 6 of Pentacles, Page of Cups. They spoon feed him. They spoon feed him drop by drop when they give him briefings. They put his name on the pages wherever they can. They create lots of white space on the pages. There's lots of pictures. They spoon feed him. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. And they twist themselves in knots to try to make him look good. Even though it's so obvious. Like when the people go around the table and they're saying, we are so blessed that you are our leader and you're just the greatest, and just that whole embarrassing, anybody from the outside can just look at it and go, that's just pathetic. Yeah, he is a moron. I'm sorry, he's an idiot. And he's not tried to get over that. I know people with heavy duty like ADHD. I know one woman, bless her, who has ADHD. She's a PhD now. PhD. She worked so hard to get all kind of coping mechanisms and figure out how to make things work and figure out how to get the work done and how to study, and she contributed. I mean, you get a PhD by contributing. You have to actively contribute something new to a course of knowledge, to an area of knowledge, and she absolutely did. Breaking. UK's top senior civil servant steps down as Boris Johnson advisor seeks change. Kathleen saying because he is dyslexic and actually did have very high IQ in his youth, but he can't read. He no longer can retain all the info he used to set to memory. It shows like dementia. Yeah. Okay, so, but did it actually register anywhere? Did it actually like, ding, this is important? Did they, because right in the middle is this spoon feeding. Did they spoon feed it to him? Because while the president's daily briefing is the PDB, it's called, while it is the most sensitive document in the government, there is a way for Congress to find out if the president was briefed. Paging Representative Schiff in the House, who is the head of the Intelligence Committee. Were you spoon-fed this information and you blew it off? It's not fun. That doesn't help me. But also, Putin. He will not do anything to, that was it. I was going to send you guys, I was going to put up a link. There's an article on Mother Jones, really good article. And it's about how in the next few years, a huge number of the Trump businesses' loans are going to come due. And the way that they're being paid off, it kind of says that a lot of these are interest-only loans and that they're not actually paying down the underlying amount, but that there are only two places directly loaning to Trump organization because regular banks won't do it. And one of them is Deutsche Bank and the other is something I've never heard of that is really predatory. But the Trump organization is going to have to go back to them over the next few years to get new loans. And recently, I want to say in the article, it said that Trump went to, oh no, it was right before the election or something, where Trump organization went to, I think it was Deutsche Bank, and said, we need this $10 million loan, and they said no. And it was basically because Trump, the possibility of Trump becoming president, then it was, well, how do we get our money? Plus, the businesses have taken such a hit with the illness that Trump has done nothing to help with. So in the next few years, that's one thing I was thinking about reading on at some point here, which is, you know, I keep reading that Trump is going to lose his supposed fortune, and like real estate being repossessed, or it being taken by banks, or being auctioned off. And I'm wondering if that's related more to this, or it's more related more to him getting in trouble for the for money laundering. So anyway, China loan comes due very soon. Well, thank you, Melissa. It's all about the money. Yep. It's all about Benjamin and his friends. 9 of Cups, 2 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles. He knew. You rat fink. Fink. A fink, is that like a snitch? Am I using the wrong, that might not be the right word. I didn't want to use the B word, so I went with rat fink. But rat, male B word. He has a wealth, absolute wealth. Intelligence-wise, the information getting to the president, other countries, for other countries, if they could get briefed like the president does, it would be like Christmas every day. Oh, to fink is to snitch. All right, then he's not a fink. He's just a rat, male B word. Okay, thanks, guys. He's a rat. We'll just say that. It would be, seriously, any other country, if they could get hold of, I mean, like the UK or what have you, they have fantastic intelligence service. But any country, it would be Christmas every day if they could get hold of the U.S. President's daily brief, if they were getting that. And there's the card of decisions. So there's all this information, and right in the center is a decision. And the decision is to hold on to, because I get pentacles for Republicans, is to hold on to that information. Maybe no one will notice, if you can see how well you can see that. Hold on to my power, my information. Maybe no one will notice. Because of Putin. He does not dare make Putin mad. Putin gave him money. That's what he cares about. He's so awful. Okay. 57. Will the public be disgusted? Basically, is it going to come out? I think, which was kind of the second part of that last question. Is it going to come out, and will the public be disgusted? How will the public react? Is it going to come out that Therese and Trump knew about this and did nothing? He's golfing today with Lindsay. Just if you're wondering where the president is. He has people cleaning up for him left, right, and center. So is it going to come out, and how will people react? Will it come out what Trump knew and did nothing about it? Will that actually be proven? Sorry, I'm trying to reach for this energy. Will it be publicly proven that Trump knew? Well, they're going to be squirrely for a while. We know that. Four of Wands. Hang on, we'll wait on that one. This feels like what I was just talking about with the golf and the Mount Rushmore and the whole Trump just being useless. All right, Eight of Wands. It's one of the many things that comes out about the Emperor. Comes out bad things that hit him. Six of Cups. Card of generosity. The card of there's so much. There's so much. Ace of Cups, they're not going to drink the Kool-Aid. That was two meanings. This is there's so much against Trump, and it's coming out bit by bit by bit. This next to it, in this sense, means that this is the Kool-Aid, the Trump Kool-Aid's, which is different. Republicans will have none of it because they can get proof. Democrats can get proof that he knew, and also this is journalism. This is journalists. The Hierophant is any kind of institution. It used to be this card used to in some old decks used to be called the Pope, but that was back when we lived in such a depending on where you lived, we lived in a world where the church, whatever church it was, really did control huge swaths of civilization. But anyway, oh yeah, it's gonna come out, and they're not gonna put up with Trump mealy mouthing it. So how will the public react? How will the public react? Anger. Quite often when I try to read on how people are going to react, the first thing I get is just how tired everybody is and how fed up. But this is anger. How will people react? Queen of Cups. That would be the Democrats telling the tale, setting the table, setting how it's laid out, how it's brought out. Four of Cups, Eight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Pentacles. There's so much. There's just, I mean, think of what the Republicans did with Benghazi hearings and emails and voting against Obamacare 50, 60, 70, 80 times or whatever they did. What the Democrats have on Trump, what we know about Trump, is so much where trying to give it to the public. It's like they've okay, we drank, we got that information, we've gone through this scandal, that scandal, this scandal, and now there's this massive thing, and I'm supposed to just drink that down too. And it's like I'm so fed up with this scandal after scandal after scandal, and they feel the American people feel kind of, for lack of a better term, held hostage in the sense that we just cannot get rid of this guy. We still keep having to wait until we can vote because nothing sticks to him. He's been impeached. There have been so many bad things come out against him, and he's still in power, and we can't get rid of him. Republicans working together, Fox News patting his base on the head. It's nothing but Trump's fortunes changing. And that garden is full. Let me see if I can get more information on this, but that garden of what's happened is full. So tell me more about this Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. That's the Supreme Court. I'm telling you, it's Trump's money. It's the Supreme Court ruling that some part, not all, but some part of Trump's finances get oversight. And that's the death knell. That's not for whom the bell tolls, Trumpy. It's tolling for you, bucko. Queen of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Republicans will be scrambling. This is just more of your Russian witch hunt. This is just more of your you can't blah blah blah. Yeah, I watch all the hearings, so I've heard it all. There's nothing to see. It's all beautiful in you know, America and and yeah. And there's Pelosi going, excuse you? Excuse me? Pardon? Really? Really? This is what we're waiting for. Oh, and the Hierophant is right behind it. SCOTUS ruling. This is major arcana, everything in capital letters. This is SCOTUS ruling for oversight of Trump's finances. Right there. Boom. That's what we're waiting for. He is a traitor. It is treasonous. He is by far the worst president we've ever had. And say I could really use that second 1200. Oh boy, I hear you. Well, let me read on that. Graham's trending on Twitter's golfing with Binky Boy. A binky, for anybody who doesn't know, a binky I know in the UK is a pacifier. For a baby. Binky Boy. Okay, 67. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. It's very important. So 67. Let me read on the any more relief checks. And even Mnuchin of Versailles said that people can live, American people can live on $1,200 for 10 weeks. Wow. Out of touch much? I know Marie Antoinette did not say let them eat cake, but that was such a let them eat cake moment. She didn't say it, but he did. Mnuchin of Versailles. Telling you. That's why I call him that. All right, but Americans are struggling, and let's see, are there oh boy, are there McConnell, you big jerk. Is there going to be more relief? McConnell has so much bad karma coming his way. Just a matter of time. Man. Is there going to be more relief for the American people? More relief checks? Will there be more relief checks? Star. Well, Trump knows it would make him look good. McConnell does not want to do it at all. McConnell got his 200th horrendous judicial appointment to the, is it the second, whatever it was, his 200th judge, and now there are no vacancies for the first time ever. That's his thing. He's just, and raising the national debt even higher for those people, he doesn't care. Four of Wands. They really, they talk, the Republicans talk like Americans are just on vacation. We're just all home. It's appalling. And they're just not getting the message that that's not true. Five of Pentacles. Oh, a bunch of crocodile tears. Oh, the debt, the national debt's so high. Completely forget that we just gave massive tax cuts, or that we gave massive tax cuts to massive corporations who did not need them, and but now it's all boohoo. Okay, Magician, Five of Cups. Gosh darn it. Someone trying to make it happen, pull the rabbit out of the hat. That's the card of disappointment. Let me see if I can get any more information. Are there going to be any more relief checks for the starving American people? I mean, literally, there are people starving. Makes me crazy. Makes me absolutely crazy. I mean, you know me. And it probably wouldn't surprise any of you. I'm really trying to shuffle this well. That's why I'm blabbing on. You know me, and it probably would come as no surprise to you. Do you know what I do first thing every morning before I do anything else? And I mean anything else. I take care of the cats. Food, water, treats. Scoop their litter boxes. Remind them 18 times that they're good and they're loved. Pet them. And then I make tea and get on with my day. So leaving all of these people across the country to just, all these children to just starve. There's a dark level of the murky depths waiting for people like McConnell. And it's not judgment, it's their own, what they have done. That's the thing, there is no big judgment. When you leave this earth, the energy level you have chosen to be on is, when you leave, shed this mortal coil, you go on to an astral level. And where Epstein is, it's dark and just, there's no one, it's absolute isolation and darkness and nastiness. He is still connected, tiny little cord to the collective. You can't get rid of that. But he's on like a trickle charge. But McConnell, the amount of damage he's done, the amount of children he's hurt, the despicable things he's done, it's not going to be pretty. Kitties always come first. King of Pentacles. Look, it's the Republicans sitting on their rear ends. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Queen of Swords, Six of Cups, Four of Wands. We have to cut, I hate to say this. If we have to wait until the next administration, that's not going to be until the end of January. And people cannot get by for that long without help. But it's like you've got to prune. These people have to be pruned out of power. Because right now, the Republicans have so much power. And Trump is useless and is just running around being a brat. That's what that is. He's a Gemini, it's air sign, which is swords, and he's running around being a brat, uncontrolled brat. And then McConnell and Republicans have control of the Senate. And until their power can be pruned somehow, once that's pruned, then we get some generosity, and people can, I don't know, go to sleep at night knowing their children aren't going to be starving as much. I'm so mad. I'm so angry. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to get through this with my blood pressure. And I'm so glad I inherited my blood pressure from my father's side. My poor mother struggles with high blood pressure, but luckily on my father's side, there's low blood pressure. Man. So does that mean we have to wait until the end of January for help? Really? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. Do we have to wait until the end of January? Really? The world. Major ending. It's the highest major arcana card. Serious end of a major chapter in life. A major. This is an end of chapter. End. Whole new thing starting. King of Wands. That's McConnell. Nine of Wands. Queen of Wands. That's Pelosi right in the middle. He's in power now. Well, he has his power now, she has hers, but she's in the middle. Knight of Swords, Three of Wands. Those are investigators cleaning up. There might be some investigations coming that would clean things up. 4th of July surprise. Yep, that was one of the questions. I'll read on that, and then I will see what I can do about answering any astrology, general knowledge astrology questions you may have. Okay, 70, we're up around 77-ish. 4th of July surprise. Have been for 27 years. I wonder what that's about. This administration feels like it's been going on for 27 years. Yes, it has. Yes, it does feel that way. Oh, love someone who can sew like that. Oh, my mother sews very well. I used to sew, but these days I just got a pile of mending I need to get to. Let's see here. 4th of July surprise. Other than Trump creating a massive forest fire in the Dakotas because he cares about spectacle and his own self-aggrandizement. I hear you, Anne. Okay, 4th of July. Any big surprises? Frustration. The frustration. I'm just feeling this even more frustration. Okay? Lovers. High Priestess, the world. Ooh, a catalog of secrets. Major Arcana. Catalog of secrets. Hanged Man. Okay. I've only got 2 cards left, and I've already had a card for the reading, and then 3 cards, and all of these are major arcana. Capital letters, big deal, huge forces affecting large amounts of people. Big deal. Matter of fact, I've even got the Fool card here and the Moon card here. Literally, just sitting over here. Howling at the moon because he's an idiot, but his supporters in Fox News still trying to support him. But there's a catalog of secrets. Centers the Hanged Man, Trump's power, him being... I've got to come up with the right term. It's not... being swept off your feet is a nice term. You know, you fell in love, you got swept off your feet. No, but this is more like you're trying to move forward and you get... It isn't even knocked off your feet. It's just like... You know those, what are those things in hunting that they use in a lot of movies, where the person's walking along and then they spring a trap or something, but the rope wraps around their ankle and then just hoists them up, and so they're hanging upside down. That's rug out from underneath, could be. That's what this is. Snare, could be. Two of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Behind the scenes, right now, they are cataloging. There is a catalog, and they are continuing to catalog. But there is a catalog of Trump's misdeeds that are going to hurt him. But for the 4th of July, it's the Two of Wands is a card of communication. Page of Pentacles is Republicans trying to make everything look good. I don't know that there's going to be a 4th of July surprise. It feels more like the president having his big photo op, and meanwhile the rest of the country standing around with their arms crossed, just staring, like, just not impressed. Not even a little. Just, that's, but, oh, he looks so presidential, and this is such a great day for America that Trump is our leader, and trying to communicate that, but it's like dirty mop water that they're trying to spread around, and we're really unimpressed. So I will be back tomorrow for more tarot card political readings. I'm so sorry if I didn't get to your question, but for you are, thank you so much for being here, and thank you to our moderators. You guys make this possible. I'm so grateful. For anyone who wants to stick around, if you have any general knowledge astrology questions, I'm here, and I would love to answer them for you. But I am going to turn off this light because it's really bright and makes my eyes hurt after a while. 1,700 troop. Holly's saying 1,700 troops are being forced to attend Tweedy's Mount Rushmore rally. Oh, grief, those poor people. Tripwire? Is that indicative of tripping up? No, I don't know that it's tripping up. It's just, it finally just catches up with him. Biden and Susan Rice are both Scorpios. Would the same signs be a compatible match? Yes. Yep, they would understand each other. Their core sense of selves are have the same kind of energy. They can manifest very differently based on the moon, because the moon's going to be your emotional core. Believe me, I'm a Scorpio, and sorry, I'm just going to wipe this down. It's condensation all over it. I'm a Scorpio, and I know a lot of Scorpios. One of my sisters is a Scorpio. I've known lots of Scorpios, and I've known lots of Scorpios who are not like me. And it's because I've got a Cancer moon and I've got a Pisces Mars, so I get all that intense emotion, but I don't have the bite. My stinger isn't as powerful. So, thank you, Lady Farley. Lucienne, 2 Scorpios running the country. Fasten your seatbelts. Yes, but they're nice Scorpios. I always say this about Scorpios, because there are good and bad sides to every sign. And with Scorpios, you can have, Scorpio is ruled, there we go, Scorpio, right here. Scorpio looks like an M with a scorpion stinger on. Scorpio, which is a water sign. It rules the 8th house. Okay, it is ruled by Pluto. Okay. That's the symbol for Scorpio. It rules the 8th house. Scorpio, it's a water sign. It's ruled by Pluto. Well, think of the word Pluto. Pluto rules plutonium. Okay? If you can see this, let me make sure. Yeah, Pluto. All right. Pluto rules plutonium. What can you do with plutonium? You can gently warm the kitty toes of everyone in a huge city. You can keep grandma's cocoa nice and, you can say nice and toasty, and just make sure everybody's warm and safe in their beds, and with lights that keep things safer, and you know, and all of that. So you can do that with plutonium, or you can detonate and make the entire area uninhabitable for 10,000 years. And it's your choice. And it's a choice that Scorpios make every day. Scorpios can be excellent healers. I had an acupuncturist one, fixed my neck. I'm glad to hear that, Pristeris. I love your analogies. Thank you, Water Grove. Some say that Pluto is the most powerful sign in the zodiac. I know. I'm sure there are a lot of people who disagree with me on that and say that I'm biased because I am a Scorpio. But no, I'm not huge on my own self-aggrandizement. But at least I don't think I am. But it's so intense, and it really does rule those moments of life and death and the phoenix, and it's life changing, altering when you pass over onto the other side, when you are quite often it rules physical intimacy because you are naked. You have no clothes on, and you are intimate with this other person, and you are utterly vulnerable. And that plus it's a fixed water sign, so it's emotional like the other water signs, very emotional, but it's fixed, it's powerful, it's stubborn, it's generally speaking, I will say one thing for the Scorpios I've known, there are exceptions of course, but in general, if they give you their word, they will keep it. They do keep secrets, and I know we do keep secrets. I keep secrets because if I tell people secrets, then I won't learn any more secrets. And it's very important for Scorpios to be able to dig underneath. They're the natural detectives, and they look what's here, what's there, what's under this, what's under that. They want to know what's actually going on in the background. So anyway, sorry, just blathering on. I'm sure you have actually like decent question. Better, you have more questions rather than me just blathering on. Holly's saying my Pluto's in Scorpio, 9th house. It's the only major planet in a water sign in my chart. Oh, but that's a big one. Pluto in Scorpio. Okay, so people of your generation, and some people they talk about Millennials and Gen X and baby boomers and second generation, all this kind of stuff. I think a lot of that is really misleading. I think that our generations should be, although it would vary slightly in length, but our generations should be like, where was your Pluto when you were born? What sign was it in? Now, granted, Pluto has it doesn't have if you say this is the sun here, and the planets are moving around, we'll just pretend this is the sun here. The planets go around. The Pluto, it doesn't have a round orbit. It actually has, it's like it's closer to an oval, and it's even like the sun's here and you get the planets like all on this plane. It actually goes slightly up kind of above and below that a little bit too. Thank you, Kathy. So some and over the last, really, through the 20th century, it changed signs more than normal, more quickly than normal, just because it was in the part that is that part of the oval. And so once it starts moving into some of these other signs, it will be there longer. But in general, I know a lot more about a person if I say, where's your Pluto? Because that's going to be more what the people of your generation are like. So, yeah, Pluto's up here right now. And it entered Cancer, and then we went into World War I. It entered Leo, we went into World War II. And but whatever sign it is, I think that's more indicative anyway. Scorpio and Pluto is a powerhouse. You're saying it's in the 9th house. This is the house of Sagittarius, which rules travel and higher education and law and idealism. It's also the longest name of all of the signs. And I know that because I keep having to write it. It's a long word, and it is a fire. It is a fire sign. Okay, so the 9th house, Sagittarius, it's a fire sign. Oh, ruled by Pluto. Not Pluto, Jupiter. Jupiter. Which expands. My father's a Sagittarius, and he loves to travel and go what's over there, what's over here, or he wants to learn about other cultures. Trust me, he was watching subtitled movies before it was cool. Let me tell you. It's go, 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 go. I have a stellium, which is a grouping of planets in Sagittarius. And because it includes my Mercury and Neptune and what have you, you can't see it. I've never really shown you guys, but I literally have these massive bookshelves off to my left that cover most of this wall, and I have so many files. I have to pay extra for online storage for the sheer number of files I have. And like I showed you that one binder, I had to check to see what that binder was. I didn't have it marked properly, but I have so many binders that it was like, oh, what's in here? Oh, hey, I could use that. And I'm constantly trying to keep up with organization of this vast amount of information that I go through. I have so many ebooks. I have so much information that I just gather because I've got all of this Sagittarius energy. So you're saying you have Pluto in Scorpio, so you get all that intensity because it's happy. Pluto's happy in Scorpio. It's its home sign. It lets it all hang out. But it's in this that intensity for you in particular in your life. Everyone in your age group is going to be of that. It's going to be in that sign. But for you personally, that intensity, that death and rebirth, that revolutionary spirit is going to manifest in this area of travel and law and higher education, and you will find that you get a lot of your power from that. My Pluto is in Libra, but it is in my 5th house, the house of Leo, but it's the house of what we create. So because of that and some other things in my chart, I get my power from creative stuff. I don't have any kids, but Leo rules what you create. It's children, art, making art, making things. It could be gambling, could be any kind of fun. Relationship-wise, it would be a fling. I don't get power from flings, but you know, that's part of what's in here too. I don't do flings. I do not fling. I am flingless. But anyway, so your generation is going to have Pluto somewhere, but where house it lands in is going to kind of that deep power. Pluto's kind of the higher octave of Mars, which rules Aries. And Mars is you act, the warrior. You know, both the word Mars and Aries are the names of the god of war. It's that forward, but this is power as well, but this is more that plutonium power. Anyway. Okay. I have to remember it's 2 T's, not 2 G's when spelling Sagittarius. It's a pain. It is a pain. Yep. I was told I'm in, okay, I'm 56. I was told I am in genetics. My daughter's a Gen X, not me. Yeah, I think it gets kind of screwy. Supposedly I'm Gen X, but I'm not that much younger than you are. I have a natural zodiac, Pisces rising. So here, Pisces rising, almost Aries rising. So you're I don't know, the houses may not be even unless you were born on like right near the equator. But so the houses might be off. So this midheaven might be tilted one way or the other. But so yeah, but it's roughly you're going to have a lot of basically this is the same kind of things as the original natural chart. Melissa's saying my Mars is in Aries. Whew, I bet you get stuff done. And I envy you. Oh. Kat is saying, I used to have a woodcrafting business. I called it Sagittarius Moon. Oh, that is fantastic. I love that. And I so love craftspeople. So love and admire craftspeople. Sagittarius Moon. I thought about calling my I have an LLC. And I actually thought about calling it something to do with Sagittarius. But I eventually decided it would be too hard to spell. And too hard for most people to spell. So I just stuck with something simple that's based on, you know, my products of what I'm creating. My mom was a Gemini. Please call her the president of the Man-Haters Club, and Trump was the poster boy for the Man-Haters Club. I'm positive that my mom despised him, or I'm guessing you're positive your mom despised him? Your mom was a Gemini. That's pretty awesome. What's a Gen X? Back in the 80s, actually. Late 80s, early 90s, there was a book that came out. And there was the man who wrote the book. He was basically saying that he said that there was this people born within these certain years had these kind of general characteristics and were into these certain kinds of things. And it really just caught on with the public imagination that people born during these certain years would be Generation X. And so after that, they started doing variations on that. Like the people after them would be Generation Y. And then they tried to say Generation Z, but then it's like, no, they're Millennials. And it started to get complicated. And I think fairly unhelpful. Hello, cuteness. How are you? You are so precious. You are so precious. Yes, you are. You could not be cuter if you sat down and tried. Okay, what is a stellium? Okay, like I have Venus, Saturn, Mercury, and Scorpio. Is that a stellium? It depends how far away from each other they are. Hello, baby. Yes, he's a cutie. Generation Jones, one right before Gen X. There we go, cat. Stelliums, they tend to be within just a few degrees of each other. So if, I know I have my chart here. And there it is, right there. And I've written on this one before, so bear with me. Oh, grief. Sorry. Made the camera shake and everything. Sorry about that. Okay, if you can get past all of the writing. Whoops. You see this circle? Let's see, this circle right here? I've circled everything. My Mercury, that's a symbol for Mercury. My Neptune, my Venus. This is at 0 degrees 58 minutes. This is at 2 degrees 6 minutes. And this is at 2 degrees 25 minutes. So that's basically 1 degree of Sagittarius. That's 2. That's like 2.5. Okay, so all 3 of these planets are right there, just in this little tiny tight area. Now I also have Jupiter. It's hard to see, but there's a Jupiter here at 10-4, good buddy. 10 degrees 4 minutes of Sagittarius. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius, it's happy there. But that's not technically included in the stellium because it's up at 10 degrees, and these are back at 1, 2, and 2.5. It's a little too far away to be included in the stellium, but it still definitely increases the amount of Sagittarian energy I have, especially because Jupiter, that symbol, rules Sagittarius. So it depends how close they are. I hope that helps. Oh, I've got Stellia. Oh, the plural of stellium. Cat is saying in 2 consecutive signs, Capricorn and Aquarius. Wow. Wow. Okay, Kathleen's saying, I think, born in 64, I'm a bomber. Rather than Gen X, but I gravitate with people 5 to 10 years older, always have. I don't know, bomber, is it like a subset of boomers, or I'm not sure. Cat saying you're a Joneser, okay. 64. Well, I do know that it's not Gen X. My sisters are older than I am, and I'm the baby of the family. But Generation Jones, 56 to 64. Yep. But okay, that's cool. But I still think. Tell me where your Pluto is. My Pluto's Pluto, PL Pluto, in the sign of the scales, Libra, right there. So that's our people who were born in that time period. It was a revolution of, when I was growing up, it was a revolution in relationships. Libra is right here. This is the house of marriage and partnerships. This was the era of Kramer versus Kramer. This is revolutionizing relationships, relating to each other, how we partnered up, how we also a lot of equality issues between men and women. So those would come up too. So, and then when Pluto went into the Scorpio, you've got the Scorpio, Pluto and Scorpio generation, who had to deal with sexuality, death, what have you. They had to deal with the AIDS epidemic. They're also all about other people's money. This was the greed is good, which is really annoying, but it's just how it was. So, and then Pluto moved into Capricorn, which is all about career and status, and the housing market that was weak collapsed. So, what does a squared stellium do? It's you just have a lot more squares. I wish this thing was, I don't have a clean version of this is the problem. But I got a whole lot of red lines here. It's called a T-square because I've got Saturn opposite the stellium, and both of them are squaring this Mars. So Mars becomes the focal point, but because I've got a stellium here square Mars, Mars is square each individual one of these planets. So I have a whole lot of squares in my chart. I don't know if that helps, but it's just an extra square energy, Dave. We've got it in abundance. Yay. It's an overload of energy, which is a square is an overload, which can cause friction. But when you deal with it when it's in your own chart, over time you learn to harness the information or harness the energy. Blah. Sorry. Holly's saying, I'm undergoing my first Saturn return right now. Ah, bless. He was at 0 degrees Aquarius when I was born. And he's there right now. Okay. Oh, Holly. Well, I hope it goes well for you. It's a definite rite of passage. Doesn't have to be bad, but it's definitely an end of that chapter of youth and into adulthood in a way that really marks, because it happens when you're 28 and a half, 29, something like that. Kathleen saying, I have a quilt design for you, Autumn. When I get to sew it, I'll let you know. Okay. Dave is saying cooperatives, not corporations. I'm not quite sure what that refers to. Sorry. Desrat, Melania probably can't boil water. Could be. Hi. I don't know. Oh, hello. Okay, Susan's saying I've got Pluto 25 degrees of Leo. Here's 20 degree Cancer, Jupiter 26 degrees. They're in different signs. So, well, no, because they have to be in the same sign and within a few degrees of each other. Then it's a stellium. So you have a conjunction because you've got two planets there, Uranus at 26 of Cancer, Jupiter at 24 of Cancer, they're within 2 degrees of each other. So you've got a conjunction of those two. But you would need to have another planet at, 23 to 27-ish of Cancer for it to be a stellium. And some people have stelliums that are 4 planets or 5. It's like crazy. Kids born in the 80s will have high psychic abilities. Scorpios, yeah, Scorpios can the water signs in general can be more intuitive. Not all. And astrology is actually ruled by Aquarius. But anyway, if you start looking around your grandchildren, you start seeing it, okay? Dave's saying, I like the square energy. It provides an extra boost when you need it. Excellent. Thank you. Some people are just all down on, no matter what, they're just always down on squares. And it's like, that doesn't help people. Yeah, stellium is 3 or more planets in the same sign within a few degrees of each other, exactly. Extra boost when you need it. Yeah, if you have a lot of squares in your own chart, over time you learn to harness the energy. Okay, Kat is saying, ooh, my Saturn return was in '89. Started my first business and took up with the real bad crowd. Oof. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but you started your first business. That makes sense. I got married just before mine, so you know, end of youth, more onto adulthood, adulting. Just right. The age of corporation dominance is coming to a close. Pluto's all finishing its run through Capricorn, which is all about the corporations and hierarchy. Oh, just a big yawn. Okay, Saturn returns in 89, New World. Someone just said I read way too much. It's not possible. Kathleen's saying I read way too much. Oh, there is no such thing. And I'm the last person who's going to co-sign on that. Nothing wrong with making money, just not on someone's back. Exactly, just right. Helen's saying, crikey, Autumn, you teach this well, I can understand what you're talking about. Oh, excellent, that makes me happy. Thank you. I think Kathleen's saying, I think most want enough money to be comfortable, not be filthy rich, like Trump. Yeah, I think you're right. Because there's a lot of grief that comes along, and Trump has just lied his tuchus off. Yes, I'm clean. Yes, I'm clean. Thank you for trying to clean my fur. I don't have much fur, do I? You're just the biggest sweetheart. Yes, you are. Sorry. Autumn question. Gay Nelson. Oh, it jumped. Jump. Where? Wait, come back. Okay. To do an accurate chart, do you have to have the exact time you were born? It helps. If you want a really accurate chart, yeah, you kind of do. Oh, sorry. There we go. My phone might die. Eeks. Yeah, because it determines where you won't know the houses. You can still run a chart, just run it on modern astrology programs, just run it for noon, but noon in 1 minute, like 1 minute after noon, and you'll get a basic chart that will put Aries. No, actually no, it won't put Aries, because at noon it isn't always at Aries, but it'll give you a basic chart, and it's in the middle of the day, so because the moon moves like 13 degrees a day, so it'll give you right in the middle of the range that the moon is in too, which is good. But if you don't have the exact birth time, you can't know if you have something conjunct your ascendant or your midheaven or this in the 5th house or that in that house. So it's a pain, and some people never know, and you have to do this. They have to do this thing where you've got to go to a professional. I can't do it. I've tried. Where I think it's called a rectification, where they literally ask you to list out the most important things that happened to you in your life. You know, when did you get married? When did you graduate from school? What were like the biggest moments in your life? And I went overseas. I did whatever, and then they literally just spin it around until things line up that, okay, well, this would have happened when it was transiting there and this and that, and they basically work backwards. So you can't read too much. I'm with you. Okay, I've definitely missed some things. Kat saying, I'm so embarrassed to be Capricorn, the corporate establishment sign. I am so not establishment. But it's also the sign of work. It's the sign of making your way in the world, and it can be just as much about providing a service to others. Generally, yeah, they'll do it in muted tones in a very classy way, but it isn't. There's a good and a bad side to every sign, and there's a good side to Capricorn. Unfortunately, there's a bad side. It's very Trumpian. Oh, Kathleen, you have a Pluto conjunct Sun, so your core sense of self has this innate power. That's pretty cool. Jean saying, thank you, Autumn, for all you do. Where would we be without you? Oh, thank you, Jean. You're a sweetheart. I appreciate that. Greedy relatives. Oh, gosh. Okay, Susan saying, I have Venus and Sun in Virgo, along with a Virgo ascendant. Okay, well, is your, that Venus and Sun in Virgo with a Virgo ascendant, it's just a whole lot of Virgo energy. Your Sun is your core sense of self. Your Venus is what and how you love. Venus, goddess of love. It's also your values, but it's what and how you love. And then your ascendant right here, that is how you present yourself to the world. And Virgo is the sign of, I think of it is, it's the sign of the craftsperson, because Virgo is a wonderful, I think of Japanese craftsmanship when I think of Virgo. That exquisite, they're generally detail-oriented, but they can create these amazing things. But there can be, there's such perfectionism. The negative side, they can be hard on themselves because they can never live up, or they can be the negative side, because every sign has good and bad. The negative side, they'll even be teased for being kind of a stick in the mud, which is totally unwarranted. But there was a thing I saw recently where somebody was talking about, I forget even what it was, but they were talking about messing up some official document, something, and this woman turned around and she said, well, you're not going to do that because it's an official government document. And she was just so Virgo. It was just, that's what you do. It's that meticulousness. Everything goes where it goes. I'm a Scorpio. As you know, I've said this over and over, probably sick of hearing it, but 6th house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, house of Virgo. My intense Scorpio sun is right in the middle of Virgo, and I organize, I craft, I go back through and I give you time stamping, and I make the covers just so, make sure they're readable, make sure it's this, I craft. Oh, that's boo-boo. Talking to someone else. Jesus was Capricorn. Jesus was not Capricorn. If Jesus was Capricorn, the message, there's a wonderful meme out there that says, if Jesus was Capricorn, it's hysterical. No, Jesus was Pisces. Jesus was very Pisces, and the church moved his birthday. Hank Williams was a Virgo. Holly's saying, I struggled with my education, but powered through K-12. Anyway, I've been rather fond of Saturn, Uranus too. They rule my chart because I have an Aquarius ascendant. Hey, I've got Saturn on my ascendant. So yeah, that whole, and I've got clocks everywhere. Saturn rules time. I feel like I'm floating if I don't have clocks all around me. My phone, I have it chiming the top and bottom of the hour like a mantle clock. Yeah, Saturn, I like Saturn. I wear a lot of black. My mother and daughter are both highly psychic and both Geminis. They're communicators, definitely. My little brother's a Virgo. He writes computer code. Perfection. Freddie Mercury was a Virgo. Oh, talk about a craftsman. Wow. There's a really fascinating video on YouTube about Freddie Mercury, about him, what he was able to do with his voice, because they've worked it out, and he actually was able to naturally tap into even like the kind of, a particular kind of singing they have in Tibet. that you have to do a specific thing with your throat, and he was able to just incorporate that even into his regular singing. It was amazing what he was able to do. Let's see. Yes, I am, Kathleen is saying. You are a good teacher, another one of your talents, many, many times. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Oh my gosh, you guys are so nice to me. Clotho's saying, I have clocks everywhere, but none of them are showing the same time. That would drive me crazy. That would drive me crazy. They're never more than a few minutes off on mine, or I'm like, oh, I have to drop everything and fix that. Kat saying he had operatic vocals. Absolutely, and more. And more. Seriously, there's a really fascinating video on YouTube if you just search for it. Just the amazing things he was doing with his voice. Fantastic. Tritone chanting. Thank you. Yep. Kathleen saying, get your birth certificate for the time of birth. It's on almost every birth certificate. Sometimes it has to be the long form. And actually, there's some birth certificate doesn't have the time on it, but luckily it was written down, so luckily. All right, well, that was, it's 2 o'clock where I am, so I am going to go, but this has been so much fun, and you guys are so great. I cannot thank you enough. Also, knowing where you were born really helps. Oh, yeah. It'll pinpoint the time down to the right time zone, all right, astrological sign. Exactly. So, absolutely. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to our moderators. Just, you guys are so great, and I'm so grateful for you. All right? You hang in there. I'll be back tomorrow and do more political tarot. And yeah, and if you have any astrology questions, you know, you can always you know, gather them together. Just make a note of them for next week, or if you have something pressing, you know, just bring it up. Because you guys are here, you know, just bring it up in the chat. I don't always get to the comments. I'm trying. I really am. I'm trying. Unfortunately, this is not my full-time gig. But love you too. Love you too, seriously. I know people make fun of people on YouTube saying, oh, they love you. They don't know you. It's like, yeah, but you guys are here a lot. And everybody here has been so nice to me. So you have my heart. That's just how it is. All right. Hang out. It was great hanging out with you. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. All right. Take care.